Hello BookTube, this is Shelf Tour number 7. We're still in the early part of English literature. We're working our way through. So let's just pick right up where we left off last time. So the first here is one of these Black Spine Penguin classics. This is Anne Bronte's Agnes Grey with a memoir of her sisters by Charlotte Bronte. With an introduction and notes by Angeline Giroux. I picked this up because I have heard it discussed by some other booktubers and it intrigued me, but I have not read this. That's a pretty good stretch of books on the shelf that I haven't read because I hadn't read any of the Jane Austen, and I've had a few comments about that from folks. This next sort of nondescript thing is something I'd really like to find the other volume of. This is Miscellaneous Essays and Sketches by Charles Lamb, and this is volume 2. I'd love to find the first volume. It's published in London by Jam Dent and Sons Limited, and in New York by E.P. Dutton. And this is from 1929. This one was printed in Great Britain. So here's the lovely frontispiece. So it's introduction by Robert Lind and notes by William MacDonald, fully illustrated with 25 drawings by C.E. Brock and 24 contemporary portraits in photogravure. How do you like that pronunciation? That's what you get here on this channel. So yeah, miscellaneous pieces by Lamb. So like I say, I'd like to find the first volume of this, and maybe I will someday. Then here we got a couple of these great books put out by Britannica and the University of Chicago. This one's Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift and Tristram Shandy by Lawrence Stern. The print on this one isn't too bad. And right next to it, we have Fielding, another one of these great books. A lot of times I'll replace these with more interesting editions if I find them, or if there's something I'm really interested in doing. So this is the history of Tom Jones, and we're not talking the singer. Next three are really sort of cool. They all, let me hold them up for you. All look similar, and I'll do one at a time here. Give you an idea of how they're designed. I don't know if they ever came with a dust jacket or not. The Northanger set of Jane Austen's horrid novels. This was The Necromancer, or The Tale of the Black Forest, founded on facts translated from German of Lawrence Flammenberg by Peter Tuthold in 3 parts. The Folio Press, London, 1968. So these are Gothic-y type things. There's a little page for those of you who are book collectors. And this is what the type looks like. So these are Gothic novels. So this, same look. The Northanger set of Jane Austen horrid novels. This is The Mysterious Warning. This is 1968, the Folio Press. The Mysterious Warning, a German tale in 4 volumes by Eliza Parsons. Thus conscience can make cowards of us all. And there you go. And no illustrations or anything. And then the final one, I got these for almost nothing at a charity shop. Never even seen them before. And this is the Northanger set of Jane Austen horrid novels. Claremont, a tale in 4 volumes by Regina Maria Roca. The Folio Press, London, 1968. And yeah, they're quite interesting. And moving away from that sort of thing, let's go right into Charles Dickens. We have here Dickens by Peter Ackroyd. There's been several good biographies of Dickens. I'm a fan of Ackroyd. I think Steve calls him Old Bailey hack, but he means that as a compliment. That this is a guy who can write. He can sit down and write. He's a craftsman. He can do it. He doesn't have to wait for his muse. He's going to write. So, very good biography, I think. Then we have this rather interesting Franklin Library, David Copperfield by Dickens, with illustrations by Paul Degan, or Degan. These Franklin, the quality of the leather bound changes through times. If they're a little more rounded, you see how squared that is? You find them a little more rounded, or when they're associated with Oxford. Of course, those are something, if you find one, grab. But this is a standard, a little more blocky than I like, but is what it is. And then this, Hard Times by Charles Dickens, is one of those Norton Critical editions, which I grab whenever I find them in good shape. They're used in colleges, so they're not always in great shape. But if they're in good shape, like this one is, I'll grab them. So it's edited by Fred Kaplan and Sylvain Monod. See if we can do it. We got some glare here today. So they have all these critical apparatus. They'll have, here's Dickens' working plans. So if you're a writer, that might be interesting to know about. You know, reception through time of the books, the book itself. Okay, so let's continue on. So this is a Folio Society. It's a little cockeyed, this edition. I see him around. I need to replace this. But this is Dickens London, Folio Society. I don't understand why they do this instead of this. But it does happen. This is Folio Society London, 1966. And there's a Hackney coachman here, illustrated right there. It says, essay selected and introduced by Rosalind Valance, engravings by George Cruikshank, who would be the one to do it. Folio Society, 1966. So these are little pieces, maybe a parliamentary sketch, private theaters, early coaches. So here's a stage coachman. So just little things to get you into the Wapping Workhouse. And here's a fishmonger. And this is a volume that was part of a set. I'd love to have the set. Used to see these more often when I was a younger fella in the houses around here, but this is the only one I've got. This is an unabridged edition, one volume out of the, does it give me a number? No. Out of the works of Charles Dickens. Quite beautiful. Collier. So who knows if Mr. Dickens got paid for this. This is, I want to be a little careful here. So here's an image of the great man. A little piece of that onion skin paper. And we'll go to, this is volume 3 out of the works. This is Collier, unabridged editions, the work of Charles Dickens. This one has Nicholas Nickleby, Christmas Books, A Tale of Two Cities, and Dombey and Son, with 24 illustrations. Try to do this without causing any problems. And they do not give a date. Give you an idea of some of the illustrations. It's quite a tall book. You'll see it's in these double columns. I always wonder with these older books, of course it's a lovely thing, and I have no trouble sitting down to read it. Well, the older I get, maybe I will, but I have, you know, really good electric lighting, focused right where I need it to be, and I always wonder when people got these things in like the, what's this, probably 1880s, 1890s. Well, was the lighting that good? The print is so small. Then I have some of these Oxford Dickens, the Oxford Illustrated Dickens, so Christmas Stories again. I've had opportunities to grab more of these, and I really should. They're nice little editions. with 13 illustrations by E.G. Dalziel, Townley Green, Charles Green, and others, and introduction by Margaret Lane, Oxford University Press. Here's the Tiddler's Ground. That's the illustration's name. And this was, when was this put out? Looks like 1992. So I have another one here, the old Curiosity Shop. This has illustrations by Cattermole and Fizz, and an introduction by the Earl of Wicklow. Then we have Pickwick Papers. I really like these editions. They're easy to handle. This one has 43 illustrations by Seymour and Fizz, with an introduction by Bernard Darwin. So you have the full title. And then, get these out of order a little bit. Here's the Charles Dickens complete work. This is one of these Heron Press editions, the Uncommercial Traveler. I like these Heron Press. They also have a lot of contemporary books they do. Centennial edition of the complete works of Charles Dickens. Introduction by Malcolm Elwyn, and illustrations by Harry Furness, distributed by Heron Books. You'll see I have more of these editions. I like them. I think we can't get them over here very easily. So there's that one. Then in the same series, Great Expectations. Nice little volume. Introduction by Frederick Page. Illustrations by Charles Green. I don't know how easy these illustrations. Oh, here's one that's easy to find. And then we have Tale of Two Cities. Again, the same edition. Introduction by Sir John Shuckburgh, and illustrations by Fizz. So we have historic. So that pretty much does it for this shelf and these books. We've got an old album sitting up here. Yeah, I probably need to straighten up a bit before I can continue with this tour. But like I say, we'll keep going with some English literature, and if that's your thing, more good stuff coming up. Thank you, Book.